This video contains original script writing, narration, music, animation, and editing created by Angel S. All analysis is transformative content based on publicly available information. Some words are meant to be heard clearly. Click C for subtitles. Welcome back, I'm Angel. January 4th, 2026. Sunday night, Tennessee, USA. Psychic medium Candace Starr went live on YouTube. This time, she tried something completely new. A divination method she developed herself. Letter dice. 20 dice, each engraved with a letter of the alphabet. She rolls them all at once, then plugs those letters into an unscramble website that generates every possible word combination. Sounds pretty random, right? But what came out of that roll? Even Candace herself was shaken. By the end of the stream, she said, "I need to take a shower. I need to wash this off of me." She said, "This can't be possible. This is freaking crazy." So what exactly happened? Let's follow the timeline of that live stream and find out. An exhausted start. Right at the beginning of the stream, Candace said, "This is the end of my day. I am exhausted, but I showed up, okay?" She'd been doing private readings since early that morning. By the time she went live, she was completely drained. But she still showed up, because she'd promised her viewers she would do a public channeling session for 𝗞଼ Long. The chat was already filling up. Americans, Chinese viewers, people tuning in from all over the world. Everyone was waiting to see what 𝗞$Long would tell us this time, through Candace. The mysterious Divination Dice. Candace pulled out a small black box with KS printed on top, her brand initials. She opened it to reveal a piece of black satin cloth. Underneath, 20 clear dice, each one engraved with a letter of the alphabet. "I made this, the dice," she said. Then she explained how it works. Step 1. Set an intention. Today her intention was, 𝗞$Long, can you tell us anything about your passing? Step 2. Roll all 20 dice at once. Step 3. Write down the letter showing on each die. Step 4. Enter those 20 letters into a website called 20 Letter Unscramble, which generates every possible word combination. Step 5. Intuitive filtering. Not every word matters. You only write down the ones that jump out at you, the ones that hit you in the gut. Those are the messages the spirit is trying to send. "This is not instant gratification, okay?" she said. "It takes time. It takes patience." The first roll. Candace held all 20 dice in her hands, closed her eyes, and silently called out 𝗞$Long's name. Then she rolled. The dice scattered across the table, each one landing face up. She started recording the letters one by one. I, B, W, C, Q, Q, F, O, F, S, Y, W, E, G, H, M, W, K, R. She counted them. One short. She checked again. The R was missing from her list. Okay, perfect. Missing the R. Then she grabbed her tablet, ready to plug those letters into the Unscramble website. The tablet starts acting up. That's when things got weird. Her tablet started glitching. What is it doing? Nobody asked it to open YouTube. What is it doing? She tried to close the pop-up windows, but the tablet seemed to have a mind of its own. Do you see it messing with me? I don't know if you can see that, but it is not acting right. Someone in the chat typed, "That's him interfering." Candace laughed. Maybe 𝗞$Long was messing with her tablet. She finally managed to type in all the letters. The website started processing. And then, the first word appeared. The first word, wreck and fish. Candace stared at the screen. Her expression froze. Whoa, the first thing says wreck, fish. Didn't you guys say something about fish for him? The chat exploded. Yu, his last name. In Chinese, Yu sounds just like fish. Yu means fish in Chinese. Candace gasped. Wreck, fish, wreck. Yu? They wrecked Yu Menglong? And this was only the beginning. Just the first word out of countless combinations those 20 letters could form. Over the next half hour, the words Candace would read would grow darker and more suffocating. The words start pouring in. Candace began filtering through the words the website generated. Her rule: don't write down everything, only the words that jump out at you, the ones that hit your intuition. Fish appeared again. Yu Menglong's surname had now come up twice. Homesick. Work. This one kept showing up. Makes me feel like things were colliding at work, she said. Web. A web, like mesh. Things are like colliding. Things are like a web and work. Bickers. Marks on the neck. Candace suddenly stopped. Hickies. She looked up and asked the chat, did he ever have any markings on his neck, like a bruise? Someone replied, he did. Candace nodded. He's saying it, like marks on his neck, like a hickey. Mockery and Misfire. The next two words made Candace's expression turn serious. Mockery. Misfire. That don't feel good, she said, her voice dropping. What did misfire mean? A failed first attempt? Some kind of mistake? She didn't explain. She just kept scrolling. Officer and sheriff. Mockery, officer, uh-oh. Officer, sheriff. Candace paused to explain. See, I don't know how they rank them in China, but this makes me feel like somebody here in law enforcement and somebody here in law enforcement. One's an officer, lower level authority. One's a sheriff, someone higher up. In other words, at least two different levels of power were involved. Whiskey and smoker. Whiskey. I think it actually said whisker, but I see whiskey now. Smoker. Do you know any of them? Have you seen any of them smoke? She asked the chat. Did any of the people involved smoke? Wicked. Candace looked at the screen and said, I see the word wick, wickies, and wicker, but it makes me feel like wicked people. I'm gonna write it even though I don't have a D. It don't matter. I feel it. Yorkies. The dogs. Yorkies. Candace said, I literally have a Yorkie. Maybe that's just my connection for him, like doggies. Someone in the chat confirmed. Yu Menglong had dogs. Oh my god, not the doggies, she said softly. Bricks and Embryo. Bricks. Makes me feel like the concrete maybe, she said. Like flooring, like a building. Then the next word stopped her cold. Embryo. A long silence. Embryo. That kind of gives me the creeps. Why would that word come up? She didn't explain, but the mood in the chat had already shifted. Forces and grief. Forces, grief. Hombre and homies. Hombre. Like his friend. That's in Spanish, but it's okay. It still means friend. Homies. His friend. A couple of them. More than one. Mob. Mob. Whoa. He thought they were homies, his brothers, but they were actually mob. Offices, orgies, shower, whores. What came next made the whole chat go quiet. Offices. Orgies. Whoa. Orgies in the offices with his friends. but they're like mobs, like bad friends. Holy crap. Shower. Orgies and shower. What the heck? Whores. 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 That's crazy. Offices, orgies, showers, whores. What was this saying? What were these people doing in those offices? Begs. Begs. Candace's voice changed. Wow, that makes me sad. Oh, I'm sorry. The word begs just makes me I feel consumed with sadness, right? Oh man, I'm good to cry. No, I'm really not. I don't have energy left in me. He was begging. He was begging them to stop. Choke and cries. Choke. Cries. Choke. Cries. Oh my God, stop. Then the sows. Oh, stop. Keep going. Choking, crying, begging. 3 words back to back. Candace could barely speak. His dog, Ham. Candace suddenly asked, what was his dog's name? 'Cause I keep feeling like he's trying to talk about his dogs. Someone of the chat answered, Ham. Ham. She bowed it down. He was missing his dogs. Crime and echoes. Crime. Echoes. Wow, crime and echoes. His cries and their crimes echoing. Candace said, I don't know about you guys, but we all heard that recording, right? We've all heard it, haven't we? That recording that spread online? It traumatized her soul. She's consumed so. The chat exploded. They sewed up his stomach. His organs were missing. That's why they had to sew him up. Candace nodded, her voice barely above a whisper. So, they consumed him with. They sewed him back together. More words. Coke. Candace said she didn't think it meant Coca-Cola. It was the drug. Cigs. Ribs. I don't know if that's like ribs, the food, or his actual ribs. Hero. Heroes. Why and who? Why? Who? He was asking why and who? You. His name. Near the end of the dice reading, a word appeared that gave everyone chills. Yew. Y-E-W. It means a type of tree, but it's pronounced exactly like you. And more importantly, it sounds almost identical to you. Candace said, I feel like he's not talking about the tree. He's talking about his name. The dice didn't have the letter U, so he couldn't spell out you directly, but he found a way around it. Y-E-W. Sounds like you. Sounds like you. He was telling us, this is me. I'm you. I'm you, Meng Long. I'm here. I'm talking to you. End of the dice reading. Candace put down her pen and looked at her paper, now filled with words. She took a deep breath. Let me summarize the key words from this dice reading. About you, Meng Long himself. Fish, you. You, you. Hero, grief. Homesick. Ham/Yorkies, his dogs. Begs. Choke. Cries. About the perpetrators. Mob, officer, sheriff, wicked, smoker, homies, friends on the surface. About what happened. Wreck, crime, echoes, mockery, misfire, forces. About the dark scenes, orgies, offices, whores, shower, coke, cigs, whiskey. About the body, embryo, ribs, sew, Hickies, marks on the neck. About the location, work, bricks, web, a trap. These were the words Yu Menglong sent through 20 dice. Each word, a piece of the puzzle. Put together, they tell a heartbreaking story. Comfort from the tarot. After the dice reading, Candace decided to switch things up. I just need to lighten the mood for him, you know? She pulled out a tarot app she designed herself, something she'd spent 5 years developing, filled with spiritual cards she personally created. She rolled the dice to pick a card, then let the app read out its meaning. Card 1, Rite of Passage. The app began to read. Crossing the threshold, you are leveling up. This is your rite of passage, a sacred moment marking your transition from one phase of life to another. You have worked, endured, and grown, and now you are stepping into a higher level of understanding, power, and alignment. This card reminds you that a rite of passage is not simply a reward, it is recognition of transformation. After it finished, Candace went quiet for a long time. I was trying to lighten the mood, and that did not help. That just made me feel like he crossed a threshold he didn't want to cross. But he still has a purpose. On the other side, I feel like not only is he helping himself, but he wants to help others. Card 2, Stop Overthinking. Stop overthinking. Keep your truth facing north. You're already on your path, babe. North is clarity. North is integrity. North is you. Candace said, I feel like he stayed true to himself. She looked back at the words from the dice reading. Obeys, offers. I feel like he probably didn't want those offers and didn't want to do what they were asking him to do and was just trying to stay on his path. He kept facing north. He held on to his truth, even if it meant... Card 3, Stop hiding your sparkle. Stop hiding your sparkle. Let your light shine. It's time to step out of the shadows and embrace every part of yourself. Your uniqueness is a beacon. When you allow yourself to be fully seen, you inspire, uplift, and awaken those around you. Candace said, This makes me feel like he's a light worker. He came to this world to awaken people, and I believe even after his death, he's still doing that. He's still awakening people. Card 4, Ancestors Gather. This was the final card. The ancestors are gathering on your behalf. They are present, supporting you, guiding your path from the unseen realm. Soul tribe members, those aligned with your frequency and purpose, may appear in unexpected ways. This card also encourages you to honor and call upon your lineage with intention. Light a candle, say a prayer, or simply acknowledge their presence. Candace smiled. You guys have been asking, should we light candles for him? He answered, literally answered. Light a candle, say a prayer, acknowledge his presence. The coin Q&A begins. After the tarot reading, Candace pulled out her final tool, a custom-made coin. One side engraved with yes, the other with no. She said this was the most direct way to channel, best for simple yes or no questions. Alright, so what should we ask him? Question 1. Do you want to reincarnate? Let's ask him if he wants to reincarnate. She flipped the coin. It landed. No. Ugh, that is a no. He's not reincarnating. Yeah, I wouldn't want to either. After everything he went through, who would want to come back? Question 2. Is Chu Feng with you? Quick background. Chu Feng, February 4th, 2003, August 8th, 2024, was from Jiwan, Henan Province. He entered Shaolin Temple at age 13 to train in martial arts. A 34th generation Shaolin warrior monk, martial arts instructor, and actor, he was active on social media and known for his striking looks and solid Shaolin skills. The media called him the most handsome Shaolin monk. Someone in the chat brought up this monk, also rumored to be a victim. Candace asked, "Is Chu Feng with you?" The coin landed. Yes. Question 3. Is anything of Chu Feng's at the museum? Is anything of Chu Feng's at the museum? Yes. There is something of Chu Feng's at the museum. Now, what is that? I don't know. Is it like a body part? No. Clothing? No. Shoes? Yes. They have shoes in the museum? I got a yes for shoes. Stop. Someone in the chat typed, "all tied with red strings." Candace asked, "Are they trying to trap souls with the red strings?" Question 4. Are you haunting anybody? Are you haunting anybody? She flipped the coin. It landed. Yes, he's haunting them. Question 5. Are there people alive being held in the basement at 798? Someone in the chat asked a question. Candace repeated it. Are there any people alive being held in the basement at 798? The coin landed. She didn't say the answer out loud, but her expression turned dark. Question 6. Did somebody high up use Yu Menglong's organs? This was a heavy question. Did somebody high up use Yu Menglong's organs? She flipped the coin. It landed. Yes. Oh, that's a yes. I can't breathe. Question 7. Did somebody eat your organs? Before asking this question, Candace apologized to Yu Menglong. I apologize for asking this. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Did somebody eat your organs? She flipped the coin. It landed. Yes. Oh God. A long silence. This can't be possible, guys. This is freaking crazy. Candace breaks down. The session had gone on for nearly an hour and 15 minutes. By the end, Candace was not okay. I feel nauseous. She said she needed to take a shower. She needed to wash all of this off. I'm too empathic. I feel his real pain, and I have my own trauma. I can't carry both. Closing thoughts. This was the full record of what happened on January 4th, 2026. Let me take a moment to walk through everything we just witnessed, because it's a lot to process. Recap. What the dice revealed. In just one roll of 20 letter dice, the following picture emerged. Yu Menglong, a man described as a light worker, a hero, was lured by people he thought were his friends, homies, brothers. But they weren't. They were mob, wicked, officers, sheriffs, people in power. There were parties, orgies, in offices, showers, whores, drugs, coke, cigs, whiskey. And then, begging, choking, crying. A crime. Echoes of that crime. Echoes we may have already heard in that recording that haunts everyone who's listened to it. And after? His body was sewn back up. Ribs, embryo, marks on his neck. The word embryo still lingers. What did it mean? Candace didn't explain. The chat speculated. Trafficking? Organ harvesting? Something even darker? We don't know, but the word appeared, and it gave Candace the creeps. Through all of this, 𝗈 found a way to spell his own name. Y-E-W. You. It sounds like you. The dice didn't have the letter U, but he found a way. He wanted us to know, this is me. I'm here. I'm talking to you. Recap. What the tarot card said. Candace tried to lighten the mood with her tarot app. It didn't help. Card 1. Rite of Passage. He crossed a threshold he didn't want to cross. But even so, he still has a mission on the other side. Card 2. Stop Overthinking. He stayed true to himself. He kept his truth facing north. He didn't take their offers. He didn't obey. He just wanted to walk his own path. Card 3. Stop Hiding Your Sparkle. He was a light worker. He came to awaken people. And even after death, he's still doing exactly that. Card 4. Ancestors Gather. His soul tribe is with him. And for those of us still here, light a candle, say a prayer, acknowledge his presence. He answered that question himself. Recap. What the coin confirmed. The yes/no coin is the most direct form of channeling. There's no room for interpretation. Either yes or no. Here's what we learned. Does he want to reincarnate? No. After what he went through, who would? Is Qiu Feng, the Shaolin monk who died in August 2024, with him? Yes. Is something of Qiu Feng's at that museum? Yes. His shoes. Are they using red strings to trap souls? Candace asked. She didn't get a clear answer, but the question alone was chilling. Is he haunting anyone? Yes. Did someone high up use his organs? Yes. Did someone eat his organs? Yes. Candace could barely breathe after that last one. This can't be possible, she said. This is freaking crazy. But the coin doesn't lie. What this means, my interpretation. I want to be careful here. This is channeling. It's not courtroom evidence. It's not a police report. It's not something you can verify with documents or DNA. But here's what I think we're looking at. The dice, the tarot, and the coin all painted the same picture, from 3 completely different angles. That kind of consistency is hard to fake, hard to manufacture, and hard to ignore. The words weren't random. Fish appeared twice, his surname. You appeared, his name. Ham appeared, his dog's name. These aren't things a website algorithm would know to generate. These are things that only make sense if someone is actually trying to communicate. And the emotions Candace experienced? She wasn't acting. She was exhausted before she even started. She tried to lighten the mood with tarot, and it made things worse. By the end, she was nauseous. She needed to shower. She said she felt violated by the weight of what she was carrying. That's not performance. That's empathy overload. Connection to the previous session, January 1st. This wasn't Candace's first time channeling 𝗈. 3 days earlier, on January 1st, 2026, she did a spirit box session on the 1/1 portal day. She wanted to give him a chance to speak directly to his fans. That session was different. It was live audio. Candace couldn't see words on a screen. She had to listen, and the audience had to help her catch what was being said. And what happened? 𝗈 spoke. He came through. But then, he said, "I'm so tired." And the spirit box went silent. Candace said she felt completely drained too. She understood. She let him rest. That session gave us a glimpse of who he is on the other side, exhausted, still processing, but willing to show up when called. The January 4th session gave us something different. Details, darkness, a flood of words that painted a picture none of us wanted to see, but all of us needed to witness. Together, these two sessions form a before and after. The first was a greeting. The second was a confession. What's coming next? January 8th preview. 4 days after the dice session, Candace went live again. This time, she used a different tool, the Teddy Bear REM Pod. It's a device shaped like a stuffed bear. When a spirit touches it, not just gets near it, but physically interacts with it. The Bear REM Pod. It's a device shaped like a stuffed bear. When a spirit touches it, not just gets near it, but physically interacts with it. The bear lights up and makes a sound. It's old-school ghost hunting equipment. Candace has had hers for 5 or 6 years. But here's what made the January 8th session different. Candace said she didn't want to interrogate him this time. She didn't want to ask about the case, the crime, the killers. She said, "I wanted to see if we could just talk to him as a friend instead of an investigator. Just once. Just to give him some time to recoup." She felt his sadness, his depression. She said it wasn't hers, it was his bleeding through. And during that session, something unexpected happened. He started playing music. Candace was stunned. He started playing music, like what the hell? She said he did beyond well. She said he had fun. She felt a little funky in her brain afterward, but in a good way. That session will be covered in the next video, because this story isn't over. Final thoughts. If everything we heard is true, if Yu Menglong really is communicating through Candace Star, then what he endured is beyond imagination. Organs harvested, possibly eaten, his body sewn back together, taken by people in power, betrayed by people he trusted, and yet, he's still here. He doesn't want to reincarnate, he wants to stay. He's haunting them, he's still awakening people. He told us to light candles, to say prayers, to acknowledge his presence. So maybe that's what we do. We remember him, we speak his name, we refuse to let him be silenced. Because wreckfish doesn't mean they won, it means they tried, and he's still talking. Disclaimer: the content above is a record and interpretation of a psychic channeling session. It does not represent verified facts. Channeling falls within the realm of the supernatural. Please approach it with an open mind and independent judgment. If Yu Menglong's story has moved you, if you believe the truth will come out, light a candle, say a prayer, acknowledge his presence. Like, share, and subscribe, so more people can hear what he's trying to say. See you in the next video. I'm Angel. May the light be with you.
Red light breathing in the dark, a small glow saying someone's sun still stays. Dawn isn't here, the window holds its black. One woman sitting, voice kept low, held back. Not scared of the world, just scared to wake the house. But the wave in her chest won't soften, won't bow. She says the days feel like war, still she remains like nails in the table of truth through fear and pain. A red little tower with a thin antenna line saying, if you're really here, answer with light. Do you feel that silence, heavy as the sea? Not no connection, just a note too deep to speak. Don't call it an ending, don't dress it up as fate. Some people don't fall, they get pushed through the gate. Candace, you held the blue whale to the shore. With little lights you made a place to be safe once more. This will always be your home. You said it gentle, slow, but it hit like a lighthouse in the coldest undertow. Candace, you're not a savior, just someone who will stay. When the whole world plays asleep, you let the name remain. If the night is still long, then let me sing with you. Turn I'm here into a room that's warm enough to breathe through.
They call it a story, they call it imagination, but that device doesn't act, it only shows vibration. When government was spoken, the light cut through the air. When organized crime was spoken, colors flared, too rare. But when she asked, was it you, the room went still, no glow.
Not a dead signal, not weak energy, just a clear no. Silence became a fingerprint pressed into the night. So we hold every second like evidence in our hands, tight.
Do you want me to come back? Is this helping you at all? 5 lights, one by one, like knocking on a door. Like a whale in deep water saying with everything, please, don't stop.
Candace, you held the blue whale to the shore. You gave the voice a place that isn't drowned anymore. This will always be your home. You made it real somehow, and we'll keep singing it for until the sky knows how. Morning arrives, the ocean stays deep, but somewhere in it, a warm room learned to keep.